Hey, hi everyone. We are just coming live right now, and I just noticed that one of our speakers has just arrived, just in time, exactly when we're getting live. But that's okay. We're going to start. And hi, Elder. You can
Hello,
take your time
Bruno.
over there. How's everything? So thanks everyone for being here. That's our second webinar of the day, right? So we are on a roll here today. And thanks for everyone that's been with us. If you're being here for the second webinar, thanks a lot for being here. If that's your first webinar today, that's not a problem. Hope you're enjoying all of these the presentations here this week. It's been a crazy ride. Lots of good speakers, lots of great content, and especially all of you here with us all this whole week. So I've seen some people already. I've seen Monique and Rafael and Mary. So hi everyone. So I met Mary at Chicago, the Sea Jug in Chicago. So we the whole group went out to eat something after the presentations. So it was really good. Hi Claudio, and so yes, it's been a great it was a great tour when we did it live, the user groups and everything, and it's great to be back here with you and discussing all of these doing all of the discussion here live, right? So we're today we're gonna have two speakers, right? So Rafael Deonero will come and well, if he shows up. I'm not sure if he's saying if that's Rafael right there, that he's saying I'm here. If he's there on the chat, it's because he's not here with us, right? And so that might be a problem, right? So hi Ilgan from Brisbane. So it's morning right over there. Oh man, it's very night over here. Yeah, so Rafael, I don't know how Rafael is in the wrong place. So let me see if I can get Rafael as a speaker here. He's going to be our first speaker tonight. And so, one of those crazy things, he probably got in the wrong URL. That's no problem. So today we will talk about, we have three speakers here today. So first of all, you're going to have Rafael Deonero, and he's going to talk about how to prevent bugs in your project. That's going to be a very, very cool presentation. Hi, Kathy. How are you doing? And also, that's Rafael right there. And then after Rafael's going to do a short presentation, like a mini talk. And after Rafael, it's going to be me and Elder Moraes, and we're going to talk about containers and Docker and Java EE, how we can mix and match these things, all those things together. All right. So, as usual, first of all, hopefully you can hear me fine. I see lots of people responding, so it looks like you can hear me fine. So how about if you tell me where you're from, right? I know Kathy's from Chicago. I know Mary's from Chicago. So, so Chicago is very, very represented here today, right? So the reason why I ask you to tell where you're from, because then you can figure out the chat is right here. You can type on the chat, and then we can have a nice conversation. Because the whole discussion here is, the whole idea is that we can have a live discussion with you asking questions, and we are here not to talk about what we want, but to talk about what you want to hear, right? So Vinay is from Florida, so thanks a lot. Let's see if someone else tell us. Yes, it's been a long day with lots of content. Delaware, Monique is from Delaware. Suborn from India. Thais from Brazil. Who else? Scott Evans from San Jose, California. Thanks, Scott. Let's see who else. Petropolis in Rio. So if you want to visit a beautiful place, a beautiful city, come to Petropolis. Petropolis is an amazing, amazing place. All right, I'm just going to turn the cell phone off here. All right. Okay, Wender from São Paulo. Very good. Thanks everyone for being here. And so, without further ado, let me introduce you my Arun from New York. Thanks, Arun. Without further ado, let me introduce my good friend Rafael Del Nero. And Rafael has a very, very interesting project called the No Bugs Project. And Rafael was mentioned by Yolande a few days ago for his work that he's doing on the 100 Days of Java, right? So, with you guys, Rafael. Hi, Rafael. How are you doing?
Hello, Bruno. I'm fine. It's
Okay.
it's a great pleasure to be here.
All right. So it's with you, Rafael. Go ahead. You're the first one.
Okay. So, hi guys. It's to be here on Java USA tour, and I will be sharing here my presentation. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Share
Just
your
a
screen.
minute, please.
Yeah. It's the button up here. All right. How about you, Elder? You ready for the presentation?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Good.
When Rafael is finished, we can go ahead.
Yeah. So we had a good discussion about containers during lunch. We're gonna continue that discussion right now. We're gonna talk about clouds and Docker and Java EE. That's gonna be an interesting thing. So, Rafael, we still don't see your screen.
Sure.
Right. So, Rafael, we don't see your screen nor hear your voice.
We just see your shadow.
Yes. All right. So
Bruno, while we wait for Rafael, look at what I received from Reza Rahman.
Okay, so what was it? Tell me.
Can you see?
Your video is cutting quite a lot. Yes. Oh, cool. Java E Guardians. Yes.
Yeah.
So the Java E Guardians, it's this amazing group created by Haza, and just has a whole lot of Java EE specialists.
Sure. He sent to me, and I just got home and he was here.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, that's a nice shirt. So Elder did a very nice project called the Java EE8, the Next Frontier, where he interviewed some of the most important Java EE developers around the world, and so that's it's a very, very nice project. If you want to take a look, I can put the link here up later. But that's if you're a Java EE developer, that is a very, very interesting project to take a look and start seeing. Okay, let's see. Maybe Rafael is with us. Yes. Okay, Rafael, we can see the screen now. So let me.
Okay.
Let me turn off my camera.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna leave the microphone on, so you can take. So if you guys, Rafael Del Nero from No Bugs Project.
Thank you very much, Bruno. Thank you, Elder. It's a great pleasure again to be here on Java USA tour. And I'm going to ask you a really great question. What are the biggest problems we face regarding bugs? What developer has never had real problems regarding bugs? Do you know where a company spends most of its money? If your answer was software maintenance, you were completely right. Again and again, many companies commit the same mistake. They don't care about software quality. In the past, I had a lot of trouble with bugs in the projects that I worked on. In the beginning, the managers wanted numbers and fast delivery. After one release, the problems started to appear. Lots of bugs, high coupled code. We had to refactor the code. We had to work overtime, and many developers got fired. So what can we do to deal with these situations, like this? Is there a solution? Yes, there is a solution. So I'm going to talk about the 5 mistakes Java developers make that cause bugs and stress on their projects, and what you can do to solve these problems. So, number 1, short deadlines. Short deadlines are an unfortunate reality of the IT world. Do you know Steve Jobs' famous quote? Customers don't know what they want until we show them. Managers and clients often think they are doing the best by developing software very fast with unrealistic deadlines. They think that developing software quickly is better than developing high-quality software. They don't know how disastrous this can be. If you ask a doctor to perform your heart surgery in 10 minutes, do you think she would do it? If she does it, she could kill you. The same situation happens with us developers. Managers and clients often set unrealistic timelines for software development projects. Usually, this is motivated by the goal of a fast plan. Unfortunately, doing this often results in unnecessary stress for the developers and a fragile product that's full of bugs. If you didn't already know, software maintenance is a company highest cost. We must negotiate better with our managers and clients and show them that if we develop software with more quality, we won't have bugs and maintenance will be easier and cheaper. As commonly know, software changes all the time, so expansion will also be easier. By creating high-quality software, everyone wins. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is not knowing frameworks. Developers write bad code when they don't know the basics, for example, of the framework's API. Then the chances of developing bad code are extremely high. You don't have to be a ninja programmer, but you do have to know what tools you have available. You can avoid this issue by studying at least the basics to know what you can use to solve problems. Many times I have seen experienced developers in this situation. They reinvented the wheel and implemented a much more complex solution than necessary. Also, I saw a developer using a giant if to check if the selected object was already in the list. I think you already know what to use, right? If you thought about the set interface, you were right. And then the giant if was replaced with an add from the set interface. So 15 lines of code were replaced by just 1 line. If you know the basics, you will know there is something you can use to solve the problem. And you will be able to search what you need on Google. If you master the language, the best programming techniques, and the framework you are using, your code will be better than if you just know the basics. So the third thing is about not knowing business requirements. We developers sometimes underestimate the complexity of business requirements. We think they are easy because they are not code, and we can have real trouble if we think like this. If we don't know the business requirements, well, we won't know how to implement the solution effectively. There are some steps we can take to ensure we understand the business requirements. One very effective step is to clearly and simply write the main business requirements and save them in a centralized location for all developers to access. This is particularly important for new developers who may need extra support in order to independently learn the company's business requirements. Having weekly or periodic meetings, knowledge transfer, to talk about the business requirements is a great way to ensure everyone is on the same page about the requirements. Bugs are a very serious problem. We must dedicate ourselves to improve our programming and persuasion skills to deal with them. Uh, the fourth mistake is about not knowing design patterns. They are extremely important. If you don't know what design patterns we have available to solve day-to-day situations, it's going to be very difficult to implement the best solutions. Our code can have very high copy and no cohesion, which causes no flexibility and no scalability. Then you know who is going to appear, Mr. Bug and Mr. Stress. The bugs will have a party in the code, making our lives miserable. The very experienced and well-known programmers of Angle 4 created design patterns, solutions for common and day-to-day coding situations. Many of the problems both faced were solved after creating the patterns. That's why it's so important to know them. Instead of going through the same problems they did many years, we can learn these patterns and make our code clean, flexible, and powerful. If you haven't mastered the patterns yet, I created the design pattern saga on nobugsproject.com. You will learn in a practical way why you need the pattern and in what situation you will need it. I include the source code and a complete explanation. Okay. So the fourth mistake is about focusing only on technical knowledge. I made this mistake for a long time, and I never realized why I wasn't advancing in my career. I was only focusing on technical knowledge. And as a consequence, I lost many opportunities without even knowing what was my mistake. Many times I did great work and used the best programming techniques available. But guess what? Nobody knew I was doing it because I didn't know how to show my work. I worked hard every day, but nobody realized I was doing. We must do more than just coding. We also have to develop our soft skills, like dealing with people, organizing and measuring the complexity of activities, understanding business requirements, and knowing the project as a whole. We won't be able to apply the best solution without these skills. I have written many articles on nobugsproject.com that help developers improve their soft skills and technical skills, and also to realize the importance of having both. So we talked here about the short deadlines, lack of knowledge, not knowing business requirements well enough, not knowing design patterns, and focusing only on technical knowledge. So be sure to join on nobugsproject.com to learn more ways to improve your skills. And thank you.
All right, very good, Rafael, and you did it on time. That's good. So that's Rafael's mini short talk. Let me just take this moment here to tell you guys that Rafael has mentioned a few times the No Bugs project. He's doing this very, very cool 100 Days of Java initiative where he's giving cool tips for Java developers every day. And some of the things that he talked about today are available on his ebook. So he has a nice ebook that talks about how to reduce bugs in your project. So if you're interested in improving as a developer and improving and becoming better, reducing bugs in your project, especially reducing stress in your project, I suggest you take a look at Rafael's Rafael's book right here on the side. Okay, so thanks a lot, Rafael. I'm not sure if there's any questions for Rafael. I know Kathy said thank you, but if anyone has any questions for Rafael. So Rafael, I want to ask you one question. So you mentioned design patterns, right? So I think that design pattern for me was a turning point in understanding object oriented. When I read exactly that book you just showed, the Gang of Four book, for me was kind of crazy because I read it one time and I did not understand anything. Then I read it again, and then I think when I read for the third time, I was kind of getting it. So, and do you have any suggestion on exactly what we need to start getting design patterns? On if there's any way to understand design patterns easier, is like how to practice it.
Yes, I believe a very effective way to learn them is first to learn the basics of oriented object programming, and then practice them a lot. And one thing that design patterns they use a lot is polymorphism. So if you really master polymorphism, you are going to be able to master design patterns too. But you have to know the reason that you're going to use design pattern. And you can learn then by practicing. It's not enough just knowing the theory. You have to mix both. You have to know the theory and you have to practice it then a lot. The only way to master the skill. You have to experience, you have to pass through problems and you have to solve them. So a great you can start, for example, a very simple way. You can go to Design Pattern Saga because I uploaded there the source code and you can make unitary tests and test design pattern and see if it worked. So you can see the concepts and you can also practice them. So that's the only way you can master them effectively.
Okay. All right, very cool. And Kathy says here that finding examples in Java using design patterns is very, very helpful. So that's what you did, right? So when you say the design pattern saga, that's the series of blog posts that you have on your sites.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I wrote design pattern saga, and I'm going to write. I'm going to give practical examples for all of them, and also I'm going to get available the code for you. So you can just download the code and make your unitary test and make it working and see it working. This is amazing.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Manik here says that I think it's very important to learn to say no, right? When timelines are forced,
yes.
Learn to say no instead of say yes all the time.
Exactly. It's essential for us. We have to say no. We can't accept insane deadlines.
All right. Okay. All right. So Vinay says that he went through the book, the ebook, and said it's great, especially the clip shortcut. So congratulations, Rafael. I think you got someone that liked the ebook. That's good. All right.
Thank you.
And Subar asks, where can he get the book related to design patterns?
Actually, you can get you can find the Design Pattern Saga, or you can just buy the King of Four book.
Right. Okay. You just type here, so you can get the Gang of Four book. So and also, oops, I type it for admin only. Let me get to everybody. So you can, yeah. So Suborn, you can search for the Gang of Four book. You're gonna find it.
Yes.
And also Rafael is saying that he has on his website. So Rafael's website is the nobugsproject.com.
Yes, exactly.
So if you go to nobugsproject.com, you can see a series of posts called the Design Pattern Saga, where you can get some things, right? Vinay said, Head First Design Patterns, also a very good book. Thanks, Vinay. Kat to say, if you get good, Mary asks, So how you were able to switch to being recognized for your technical skills? What did you do to improve your soft skills?
Okay, it's a good question. What I do, I've just learned a lot with Bruno, for example. Bruno is very strong on soft skills, and I just practice it daily on day-to-day work. I try to talk more to my colleagues. I try to organize tasks and explain things, share what I know. Just simple things. You can just talk to your friends. You can talk to your colleagues in the work. You can help them. You can offer some idea to them. And in this way, you're going to evolve your soft skills, and you will be able to grow on your career. Just make simple things.
Yeah, very good, Rafael. So I think Rafael hits the nail right there when he said that, you know, share what you know, right? Sharing what you know, it's extremely important. And it's very funny that how many developers they think that they don't know enough to share, but the whole point is not about sharing what you want to know, right? The whole point is about sharing what you do know right now, and you know, it's important, right? Sometimes even the things that we think are common sense or everyone knows about, when you put in a nice way, when you create a nice way to present, then it's a great way to share. So share what you know. And Wender thinks that sharing is very powerful. Yes, Wender. Sharing what you know, it's amazingly important, right? And Rafael is right. You got to start with your friends, right? Start sharing what you know with someone that sits by you. You know, share. You know, one interesting thing. Just imagine this. You just watch it, Rafael's presentation, right? And let's say, you know, you watch it here online, but you could also have watched it on an event that you went, or on a user group meeting, right? So if tomorrow you get to your company, to your 3-4 friends that they work with you, and you say, look, yesterday I watched this presentation by Rafael. It was very nice. Let me tell you what he did, what he said. And you talk about one of the things. So Rafael mentioned five things, right? And let's say you just mentioned one. So I was there with Rafael yesterday. So he mentioned 5 things. The one that I thought was most important was, you know, say no to the managers to get the good deadline, right? So, you know, just by sharing what you just learned today, you're already starting to learn how to share. That's really good. So Kat says organize brown bags presentation over lunch, right? Yes. So that's amazing, Kathy. That's a great way of doing it, right? So you start with your friends, and then very soon you're doing it for your user group, for example, or for a technical school near your house, right? So yeah, then Subot says, I think Katja said something. Mary said, no. So Katja said, if you get good at estimating your time to produce, it helps management to make a good deadline. So what do you think about estimating your time, Rafael? That's
Sorry, I couldn't understand the question.
So if you get good at estimating your time to produce, it helps management to make good deadlines.
So how can we do this?
Yeah, so estimating is not easy.
Estimate better? How can we estimate better? I believe we can do it with experience. As we see that the previous sprint task was complex, and the other one will be complex. So we have to have this feeling, you know, it's difficult. It's by experience we can do it. You know, by previous experience.
Yeah. Okay. So Mary said, great answer. Thanks to you, Rafael and Bruno. Thanks, Mary, for the questions. So Subot says the managers can't accept no, or they can't digest no. for a developer. So Rafael, how do you say no to a manager?
As I told you, we have to develop the persuasion skills. We must know how to sell. We must have arguments for them and explain that it will be very worth if we just don't follow the short deadline, because it will cause bad quality software, and we must fight for it. It's our fault too if we just accept them, and we can't accept it. We
Mm-hmm. Okay, Rafael, 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 sound is gone. People don't hear you anymore. So can you reload your browser? So let me know. Can you? Okay, so you are able to hear me, not Rafael. Okay, so we were hearing Rafael. All right. Okay. Yeah. So we were hearing Rafael nicely, but yes. All right. Just in here only Bruno. So Elder, can you say something? Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank. Say something, Rafael.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Say something when Elder.
Okay. Hello. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's get back to Rafael and we fix Elder in a minute. So Elder, you maybe need to reload your page again. But so Rafael, you're saying that that you need to get the soft skills to convince your manager, because you know technically your manager doesn't know technically, right? So
exactly.
Yeah. So Manik says that if you wish to say no, that means you have some valid reason for it. Explain that reason to others. Explain the risk of doing that much time. Make sure you raise the flags at least. So after third time, they will have to listen. So
yes, exactly. That's it. You got the point.
Yes. All right. So Manik and Rafael is saying some very important thing, that when you say that you have to have the soft skill to present things to others, people think, oh, I need to have the soft skill so I can go to an event and give talk in an event. No. You have to have the soft skill, because when you present things, if you're able to present things in a clear way, it's going to help yourself. You're going to help your team to understand things better. You're going to help your boss to take better decisions. So being able to explain things in a good way, it's very important. All right. Sometimes it's risky to insist, so just deal accordingly. Yes, you're very right, Arun. Okay, so Suborn says it's disconnected. No, I guess some people, yes. So Suborn, maybe you have to. Can someone tell Suborn to reload his page? That happens sometimes. All right. So Rafael, thanks a lot. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
If you like it, what Rafael was saying, get his free ebook here on the side. He has some very good tips on his ebook, but also make sure that you take a look at his website and the 100 Days of Java and the Design Pattern Saga. those are two very good things that you can see on his site. All right. So thanks a lot, Rafael.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay. So Rafael is gone. All right. So now it's us, right? So I'm here with Elder Moraes. Working now. Okay. Yes, I'm here with Elder Moraes. Say hello, Elder. So people. So if you can see your sound.
Hear me, Bruno?
I can hear you. Okay.
Okay for you?
So
okay.
Let me quickly introduce Elder. So maybe you watch it. Elder's presentation. Elder was did the first presentation of the Java tour online. He talked about 5 mistakes Java EE developers make. And so he's back here now to talk a little bit about containers, right? So I'll talk, so it's me and him. We talk a little bit. We're gonna do some demos. So Elder, everything's in your laptop, right? So how about you start your laptop and share your screen, and we can start.
Okay, we'll do it. Just a second.
So, you watched Ruslan Sinitsky talk this morning about containers. And, okay, all right. Okay.
Can you see?
Yes, I can see. No, yes, go. All right. So, that's Elder's. So I have an advantage here, right? Because you're showing the slides. That means you don't show your camera, but my camera shows.
I'm a little blind, so if I lost something, please let me know.
All right. If anyone asks questions, okay, I'll let you know. So I'm gonna leave my video on for a little bit, and then when you talk, I'll turn my video off. How about that? Okay.
All right. Okay, perfect.
All right. Okay. So that's Elder Java. His Elder's tweet account. BR Java Man is my Twitter account. And in this URL right there, eldermoraes.com/articles, we put this whole presentation here is a series of articles that you can access from that URL right there. So if you want to take a look at the source code, you want to take a look, how to more details of the things we're going to say here, you can just go to that URL. You're going to see the articles. Right, the articles are actually published on OTN, the Oracle Technology Network, and they go in more details, and you can actually download the source code. The source code is in the GitHub. Everything is easy for you to take a look. So this morning, Ruslan Sinitsky talking about containers, right? And he did a very nice presentation explaining the importance of containers and how containers work and how you can get started with containers. And one of the things that we write about on those articles is that there is a good connection between Java EE and containers. There's lots of good things that you can do with both things, right? And if you're a Java EE developer, one of the things that is that Java EE is a pack. It's a set of lots of things. But one of the things that you have in the Java EE standard is a standard package format, right? So so you get a Java EE application and you package in a nice format that's easy to carry around. So it's a WAR file or an ER file, and you package in a nice thing, and it's easy for you to carry around. So having this standard package format is extremely important, right? Because it allows you to use multiple, different application servers and different containers. So the whole idea of the Java EE platform is that you package your application and then you can run your application inside a container. So we have this notion of containers, right? So you have the Java EE web container, you have the AGB container, and so basically the container is you get something that you put your application inside. And then your application, the container kind of manage the life cycle of your application. So it knows how to start your application, know how to stop your applications. When there's a request for your application, it knows which application needs to handle that request and transfer the request to that particular application. if your application is waiting for some network access, or it's waiting for a disk access or anything like this, the container handles all of this access. So your application can be packaged in a nice format that can easily be moved between application servers. So because of this package formats, right? That's why we have multiple application servers, right? So you have things like Glassfish or Whitefly, or Tommy EE or Payara or WebLogic, IBM WebSphere. You have all those application servers because really, because your Java EE application, it's packaged nicely and can easily be moved between the multiple application servers, right? And you have something like this in your house, right? So if you open up your refrigerator right now, you're gonna look inside, and there's all those little plastic boxes, right? Called Tupperware, right? I'm sure you have all kinds of either plastic or glass, kind of Tupperware kind of thing. Those are containers, right? So why do you put food inside those little plastic boxes, right? Because that's a way for you to guarantee that they are independent from each other, right? So they are separated. Your food is separated. They get isolated, so one food doesn't smell, doesn't transfer the smell to another food. If one food spoils, doesn't spoil all the other foods. You can actually get a Tupperware from the refrigerator and put in the fridge, right? And then once you put in the fridge, it freezes the food that's inside, and so you can easily move it from the fridge down to the refrigerator. So it unfreezes, and then you can take this and move to the microwave, take to the table to eat. So it's easy to move things around because they are nicely packaged inside containers, right? So of course we're talking about like real world containers, but in software we have the same thing, right? So once we are able to package our software into a nice little package, then we can do the same thing, right? We can isolate that from other software. We can stop it. That's similar to freezing, right? So you can stop the application, you can restart the application. And so we did this with Java EE for so long. And now, but what if you wanted to get the whole application server, all the configurations on your application server, and move to another machine, for example, or move from your laptop to your server, or from your on-premise software to a cloud provider, right? So how do you do this? That's why we now have the software containers. That's why we have Docker. So Docker is basically, a package format. That's the most important thing of Docker. Docker is a lot of things, but the most important thing is that Docker is a package format. So it's a nice little package format where you package your application inside what we call an image, right? An image is a set of layers of software, and you package it inside a very easy to use format. And once you have your whole application packaged in that format, you can easily move from one server to the next. You can stop your application, start your application. You can back up your application, move your application to the cloud. There's all kinds of things you can do exactly because you have this nicely packaged format, right? So what Docker did is kind of help us create this definition of this package format, so everyone agrees to it. And since everyone agrees to it, now we can easily reuse this package format in all kinds of ways. So when you want to create a Docker container, basically, you have to use what we call the Docker file. So I'm not going to go too much deep into it because Ruslan already showed you a Docker file earlier today. But the Docker file is basically a text file that you can save to your repository that shows you how to create a container, right? So this particular Docker file, for example, we start from a Tommy EE pre-existing container, and then we add some information to it. And one thing that I want to talk about is that every one of those lines that you see right there, they become layers in your packaging, right? So you have one layer, and then you add another layer, then you add, you know, another layer, right? And then you add maybe a simpler layer on top, right? So you kind of put lots of layers in your packaging format, right? So each one of those lines become a layer in your package format. So, and you see that the last thing that we do is that we add our WAR file, right? Or our ER file. We add our application. So the interesting thing is that Docker, so we add our application here to the last layer. So the interesting thing is that Docker can cache all those layers here. It can reuse all the layers, right? So if you have all those layers here, they're the same, right? They are your application, they are your OS libraries, for example, your application, your Java VM, your application server. You have all of those things, and then the only thing you change is your application on top. Docker reuses this. You know, it uses less memory, uses less disk, so it can be very fast, right? And so if you do this, you add the whole thing in this nice package. You add your WAR application into the whole process. Then if you need to replace, for example, let me install the new version of my application, you're basically reusing the whole configuration that you had behind you, you know, all the heavy things that you have, you know, because that's I'm carrying here the heavy thing in my hand, right? Those are all like battery chargers, right? So they're all heavy. So, you know, you have all the heavy things, they're cached, they're reused. And then, you know, you just change your application. So a new version of application, you just change a new version of application, and everything else is reused because of this caching mechanism, right? So containers already are help us making the whole process very, very very light by default, right? But using Java EE inside containers actually helps you reuse all of this configuration, all the application server, all those things. So a lot of people are saying, well, don't use application servers, use fat jars. The problem with the fat jar is that the fat jar is this, right? You know, it contains everything in one jar. So if you have to replace this for another one, you have to replace the whole thing. So you don't reuse anything, right? So if you put fat jars in containers, you are using a lot of memory, a lot of disk space, a lot of resources because you have all those things. But if you do with Java EE, you reuse the same thing to multiple Java EE applications, for example, because only the application changed. So that's a cool advantage of using Java EE with Docker. So Elder, take from there. So I muted you, Elder, so you have to unmute. But take it from there because you have like a little demo to do, right? So the demo we're gonna do right now is in just a few commands. We're gonna create this whole system here. We're gonna create 3 Tom EE application servers in a cluster. We're gonna run a load balancer in front of it, and we're gonna run this whole system with lots of different containers into Elder's laptop. So Elder, take it from there. Elder, you're muted. You have to unmute.
What about now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So as Bruno said, we show you a little demo where we take all those concepts that he just shared with you, and to build this little architecture here that we call a high available architecture, because we are using a cluster and we are putting a load balancer in front of it. It's a Java EE application, a simple demo running on Atomy Apache Atomy. And let me show you the code to bring the fun. So, okay. The font is okay, Bruno? Can you see my
yes,
code?
It's good. Yes, it's good.
Okay. So as Bruno just showed you, we have here a Docker file. It's just the same, exactly the case. So I will not bring some details. What we need to do on the first time is having, of course, application to put on our doc. So I have here this little word is my demo. Okay, so what I would do on the first time is building a image. This is a Docker image. Okay, so I have this command here that will ask for Docker to build a new image that I will call Tommy. Okay, and I will this little environment variable here that we're looking for my Word file. And this dot here is just to inform the Docker build that my Docker file is writing this directory. Okay, so I will run. Oh, I need to run Docker. So let's start Docker. Okay, remind me later. So let's run. So right now, Docker is executing that Docker build command. Okay, so let's get little details here. So
Elder.
first,
Elder. Looks like they can't see. Looks like your screen is freezing. So they don't see you typing anything. So maybe if you unshare and share your screen again. Okay, so Elder is unsharing, not seeing anything. Well, all right. So I'm gonna put my camera back here so you can see something.
What about now?
Yes. Can you see? Type something, Elder. Yeah. So see if you saw Elder typing Docker PS. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Right. So let me show you. So first, I removed the last image just to make sure that I will build a new one. And then Docker did this 5 steps here to build a new image. Okay, so the one thing that we should pay attention here is that using cache. What Docker actually is doing here is reusing that we already did before. Because that step didn't change, that step didn't change Docker, he used it. That step didn't want to go. So, and changed something. So executed another, a new one. So what Docker is doing here is using containers to build containers. So each step Docker is doing here intermediate container to build the next step. So it's very fast, it's very efficient. Okay, so we just built a new image here. So if I did a Docker images, we can see our image just here. Okay, 2 minutes ago, Tommy War, and okay, and we can now start reading containers that will run our application. So let me show you here. This first line is just to remove the last one, so we don't need to pay much detail. So these three first lines of commands here will build 3 Tommy containers, okay, that we'll call host 1, host 2, and host 3. And all then are running the port 8080, and I will expose those ports with all their numbers so they can have some problem with each other to the port is already running. Okay, And the last command is to run a new load balancer, okay? When we will use nginx load balancer. And if you pay attention, we didn't use a Docker file for nginx because we didn't need to do any kind of changes on this pre-built image. So we just sent some kind of environment variables through this file here. Let me show you the env list. It's only some environment variables that we pass through nginx, and then it will run and start doing the balancing of those 3 nodes here. Okay, so let's run the run script. As you can see, I put all those command on scripts just to help my life here today, to show the commands, because there are a lot of arguments and a lot of options, so we can keep them on scripts to make the things easier. Okay, so let me just get my local, and let's see. Okay, so I have here, this is my demo. So if you pay attention, the host name here and on the IP, you will see that they change. 2, 3, 1, 2, and the IP and the host keep changing, but the session ID is not changing because we are doing a session cluster here. So if one of the nodes goes down, we are okay. We can keep our system, our architecture still running. We can even try. We can go here and let's stop docker stop host 1. So we'll wait a little, and when we notice that that node is off, we start to answer you with another nodes. 2, 3. Okay, so he will start ignoring the host 1. Okay, so as you see, with a few comments, a few lines of comments with Docker, some files, some arguments, some variables, we are able to build what we call a high available architecture. Not really high available, hosted on my, and if I drop my laptop here, the old system goes down. But just to show you a little example how easy, how fast, how you can start trying Docker, trying containers with your application right now. If you have right now a WAR file running on your client, you can do just a little customizations on Docker file and try with this very example. I know because I already did it. One of my clients a couple of months ago asked me a proof of concept using Docker with their system, and I just get this demo and make some changes, put on Amazon, and they are running those proof of concept. So it's very very fast, very simple, very affordable for you to start doing Docker with yours. So, but as I said here, this is not a very available architecture because we are using just my laptop. What do you think about it, Bruno?
Yes. Okay. So I was answering people here. So just to answer just to answer a couple of questions here. Rodrigo asked what the non-images that appear. They're just kind of the intermediate images that Docker creates. I think that's an important thing. So it's interesting that Docker, when Docker creates a container. No, yeah, we didn't finish yet. There's 2 more demos that we're gonna do, but so yeah, just because Eugen said good presentation, we didn't finish yet. Eugen, we're gonna get better. So when Docker, but just to answer the question here, so when Docker creates a container, it goes through the Docker file, and for each line of the Docker file, what it does is it creates a container, runs that one line, and commits as an image. And so the next line is that it creates a container, runs the next line, and commits as an image. So it does this through the whole Docker file. So and then what happens is that the result is that you have all those images, and all those images are the layers of your base image, right? So Vinay asked, there's 2 ways to create containers. One is via Docker image, the other one a fat jar. No, so there's 2 different things, Vinay, 2 different things. One thing is when you create a Java EE application, right? You create a Java EE application is composed of the application server. So you have the application server, and then what you do is that you put your application on top of the application server, right? That's how you do. You put your ER file. Yeah. So Jair, that's what I'm explaining exactly. So you get the Java application server, and you put your ER application on top of it, right? So this is a Java EE application. Now a fat jar is when you use other frameworks like Spring, other frameworks that don't use an application server. So those are frameworks that do not have an application server. So basically what you do is that instead of having the application server and your application, basically what you do is that you get everything your application needs and you package into one jar. That's what we call fat jar. You package everything as one jar, and then you run that one jar instead of having an application server, right? So those are people are saying that you should not use application servers anymore. And the truth is, if you do, if you do your application as a fat jar, it's not very efficient when you put inside a container. So there's 2 different things. Containers are a way to package applications, and it's better for you to package Java EE applications instead of fat jars. Okay, so when you create a Docker container, it's better that you put a Java EE application server inside, because that goes in one layer of Docker, and your application, because the application goes in another layer of Docker, and then you reuse this layer of Docker. Then if you do a fat jar, okay? All right, okay. So Elder, go ahead, continue.
Okay, so guys, as I said, this was not a very available architecture, because relying on my laptop. So we should on enterprise solutions, on real solutions, we should think about maybe moving it to the cloud, maybe moving it to the orchestration environment. So as I was showing you Bruno, can you see the presentation, or just check?
Yeah, I can see. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you want me to talk about the application servers in general, the clouds in general?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So basically, Elder showed Docker running on his laptop only, right? But if you're gonna do this real, you gotta do on the cloud, right? You gotta do with several servers, with big servers, and or with lots of different servers to be really available, right? So you have that solution with some containers, but it's better that those containers run in different machines. So if a machine crashes, you can do different things. So you saw the presentation this afternoon where Ruslan was showing Jelastic, right? So all of those players here, Jelastic, OpenShift, IBM, Google, Amazon, Oracle, all of those guys here, they support Docker containers, right? So you can run your Docker containers, the same containers that Elder run in his laptop, you can run in any of those guys here, right? So you saw Jelastic running this afternoon, and now you're going to see how you can do this on Oracle Cloud. Go ahead, Elder.
Okay, so just show a little, some steps of creating a new machine, a new instance for your Oracle Cloud. If you haven't tried the Oracle Cloud before, they give you a trial for you for 30 days. So you can go there right now and ask for a trial, and they give you 30 days to try the service. You have almost a full subscription for 1 month. So this is a couple of screens, a dashboard when you can manage users, see your domains. And here we can see my instance that we are using in this example. You have a public IP, you have a storage network, you can configure you can set up your security rules, users, SSH keys, and so on. Okay. So, but once we are moving
again,
Bruno?
Elder, people are not seeing the screen again, so I think you have to unshare and share again.
Okay, let's do it.
So while Elder does this, let me quickly say one thing. While Elder reshare his screen, let me quickly show this one thing for you guys. So this, if you want to try one of those container platforms, Elder's going to show how you can run those things on Oracle Cloud. But let me put here, because Ruslan today on his
now?
I don't know. Let's see if they can see now. So Ruslan today on his presentation, he offered a special trial account for people that are watching his presentation, where you have access to experiment with Docker containers, right? So if you want to do this, I'm just going to put the same offer that we did this afternoon. I'm just going to put here, and so you can try out this Docker on a container platform. So I'm just going to put this right there. Go ahead, Elder. Let's see if they can see it now.
Okay.
Yeah, they can see it now. Okay, good. Go ahead.
Okay. So once we are thinking about moving to the cloud, can be a public cloud or a private cloud, we should be able to overcome some challenges. As maybe if we need a new server, we should be able to do it fast. If you need to improve our deployment, our delivery process, we should be able to do it also in a fast way, in automated way. So we brought here some new actors. We brought here Vagrant to combine with Docker, and we also brought here Tools Cloud. It's a sweet solution. Bruno, can you talk a little about Tools Cloud, just to clarify people what we will do here?
Yeah. So one of the things that people asked during the lunch presentation was, can you show integration with Jenkins, for example, and Jenkins running on Docker and this kind of thing. So we decided to put here a full environment that has Jenkins, that has Git, that has an issue tracker, that has Sonar, has Nexus, the whole environment together in Docker containers, right? So what we're going to show is that we have this platform called Tools Cloud. It's completely done on containers. So we're gonna create that environment from scratch and create all the containers needed for a full development environment, and then we're gonna use that development environment to automate through Jenkins the creation of the rest of the process, right? So we're gonna do two things here now. One is create our development environment. So we're gonna create Jenkins and Sonar and Nexus and everything. We're gonna create with one command, and then the second command you're gonna do is run Jenkins to deploy the same solution that Elder did before as a inside a Docker container, right? So we're gonna do these two things.
Okay, so I will bring my screen here. See my comments. Everybody can see my screen.
Yes, we can see. I can see at least. So Jair's saying that they use Redmine, Nexus, Jenkins, and products are deployed as Docker image tester. Right. That's good. All together inside of Docker. That's very good. So yeah. So this thing that what Elder is going to do now? He's going to create. We're going to use Vagrant. So Vagrant is a tool that allows you to create a whole environment from scratch, based on a definition file. So based on what we call the Vagrant file. So basically, what we have. Can you quickly show the Vagrant file? Oh, so he's going to destroy the existing machine right now. So basically, the whole environment that Jair is saying that he has, Redmine, Nexus, Jenkins, we're going to create the whole environment right now in front of your eyes. So no lots of installation, nothing like this. So you can see here, that's the Vagrant file. So the Vagrant file is going to pull all kinds of images. There's all those images, to create. So Kat is saying Ansible. Yeah. So yes, Vagrants can use Ansible to provision the machines, right? So Vagrants it's a tool that uses other tools to provision things, right? So it's a very nice tool for creating test and development environments. So we're gonna do that. Can you go down a little bit, Elder?
And
yeah, so you can see
the end of.
Yes, all right. So you can see all of those things here. So this Vagrant file will create both. You create the images and deploy them either to AWS or to Oracle Cloud, right? So let's try to do to Oracle Cloud then.
So first we are using here a plugin for Vagrant that called Manage Servers. Basically, what this plugin does is to connect on the server through its SSH and do all the provision for that. So first of all, we run the Vagrant up and inform me this plugin, and it shows that we are now linked to the server, to the host, and then now we can run the provisioner. Vagrant provision. So basically now he's connected to the host, and he'll start to pulling the images and running the containers and environment that we need to our automation system here. Basically, what he's building, right?
Elder, we don't see.
Hey,
we
Bruno?
see you typing Vagrant provision, then we don't see any of the messages after that.
No, the message is starting right now.
Okay, all right.
It took a little delay to begin.
No, but
the image is basically starting right now.
Yes, we don't see that. That's what I'm saying. The previous command, we did not see any message.
Okay, but I don't see either. Let me wait some more seconds.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so
you
so
can
no,
see.
it's not frozen. That's the way it is. It's running the command.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only seeing 5. So while the command is running, why don't you unshare your screen and share again? I think you.
Okay.
Yes, I think you have. I think the problem is that your sound is cutting a little bit, so maybe your network is a little bit slow, and then for some reason it freezes. Well, I don't know. Yeah. So the guys are like, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So now I can see the Vagrant provisions.
Okay. It's taking a little delay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But lots running. We are running.
Okay. So basically, right now, what you do is that you're provisioning a Jenkins machine you provision a machine with Jenkins, with Redmine, with Nexus, Sonar. You're putting all of these on a machine in the clouds. Elder? Okay. All right. I think we lost Elder because I don't see him anymore. That's pretty lame. Yeah, now we can see. Now when you start seeing, okay, so now he's back. Hey, Elder, now you're back. Okay.
Well, the provisional is ended.
Oh man, don't clear. Show everyone. We didn't see that.
Oh, but it's finished.
Yes, go back.
Sorry.
No, just go back on the window. It will show you. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So basically, what you did, right? One of the containers complained, but yes, okay. So
yeah, because the last one is already running.
All right. Okay. So basically, what you're doing is that you run all of those containers and you created a full environment for. So what does the environment looks like? So Wender is saying that in his company this took some weeks. Yes, it does, Wender. If you know when you're not using containers, it's a pain to create all of these and install all of the applications and do all of that, right? So now you have these environments. Yes, very big. Okay, so now you have this complete environment full of Redmine, Jenkins, Nexus, Sonar, GitBlitz, TestLink, everything, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So now, Bruno, okay. So now that we have a whole environment for automation, as we can automate our system, we will get that demo that I show you and use Jenkins to automate the same build that we did on my laptop. We will do on the cloud using Jenkins. So for those who doesn't know Jenkins, he basically work using jobs that we can configuration for running tasks, plenty kind of tasks that we can use using Jenkins. So basically, what we have here is a name for our project, for our job.
Yeah, so wait. Before you start explaining Jenkins itself, so basically what you're seeing here is that Elder created this whole environment with Jenkins, with everything, and now because we're saving the states, right, of the data. We're saving the data in a different place. It's not inside the containers. So basically, what you're seeing is that you're seeing the saved data that was already there in the machine, right? So once the containers are up and running, we can now go back to the project that we had in Jenkins already, and we're going to run Jenkins to create the same project that we did in his laptop before.
Yeah. So that war file that I have it published on this GitHub. Okay, so I have the whole project, all this project that I have here, I have published on this GitHub repository. I configured here the credentials to connect to that repository. And down below, I have here pre-configured the connect to my host on Oracle Cloud. Okay, and here I will run just the same commands that I run on my machine. I will run so in my host on Oracle Cloud through Jenkins. So what Jenkins is basically doing here is downloading all the source code from GitHub. He's getting those repository, moving to my host on Oracle Cloud, and will run the same scripts that I run on my machine. Okay, So we will run it right now. And then we can follow the execution.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing now is that we're repeating the same thing that we run by hand on the laptop, but we are running on a server on the cloud, creating another server on the cloud with all the Docker images in it.
Yeah. So here he's getting all the resources from GitHub. Okay, so GitHub. Sorry for so pulling the resources, and here running the script. So removing the images and tagging the same steps that we see on my laptop. Choose a file. Removing that we're running before, and then creating all containers right here. Okay, so we can try same example. Sometimes they change the protocol. Okay. So I have the same example, the same holy cloud. We have here the IP, and if I do refresh, they will keep the same behavior. Okay. So
yeah, so now you see the IP changes, but we still have the cluster of containers. But now this cluster of containers is running in the cloud, in machines in the cloud. You could be running on multiple machines or a single machine or whatever you think it's best. But just with a few commands, you're again creating the whole infrastructure. So now we automated through Jenkins the creation of our whole infrastructure with several Tommy EE application servers and a load balancer on front of it. So basically, now it's really available because it's running on the cloud with multiple machines behind it, and you can really make it run integrated with Jenkins and everything. So we just kind of integrated with Jenkins to make it easier, because that was the question that people asked on during lunchtime.
Okay, bro. So I believe that we could be able here to show in very practical, in a very easy way, how people can start doing their own projects, their own systems, their own Java EE system applications, how they can move it to containers, and how they can get in those containers and move it to the cloud, a private cloud, a public cloud, doesn't matter. Can be Amazon, can be Oracle Cloud, Azure, or whatever, or even Elastic, as Ruslan show us tomorrow. Yes, show us today. So I think that we did a very cool demo here.
Right. Okay. So so yeah, you can unshare your screen. So this URL that Elder put here is the same URL that you can get on the side now. So Elder has this nice project called the Java EE, the next frontier, where he interviewed some of the best Java EE developers. We talked about this earlier, so I'm just putting his URL here to the side. So if you want to take a look at all those cool videos that Elder created, there's a lot of the future of Java EE, a lot of discussion about containers and how to use containers. So so basically, I think there was like a demo with lots of different things, just to show you that when you start using containers, you can really make your life a lot easier as a developer. You can really create infrastructure in a much easier way. And you saw that the whole infrastructure that we created first an infrastructure in Elder's laptop, and then we created our development environments in the cloud, and then we run the same infrastructure we created in his laptop in the cloud in one of the providers. You could have used other provider, but we created in one of the providers. So all of those things are just kind of showing you how powerful it is, the automation and the capability of moving things around that you get with containers, right? So with that, it's really, really important for us developers to start to understand how containers, to start applying containers in our day-to-day projects, because that's going to be make our lives in the future a lot easier. And as Ruslan said in his talk, this is the moment for learning containers, right? So we're trying to show you all kinds of things so you can get excited about learning it, because containers are really the most important things that we developers should be learning right now, because it will completely change the way we deploy software, right? And so as developers, deploying software is one of the most important things that we need to do. And so we really need to understand how to deploy software in a right way, right? So thanks, Arum. Arum said interesting, loved it. Rodrigo said thanks, very nice. Okay, Rafael, great presentation, nice content. Thanks a lot, guys. So I think we have a few minutes only. I don't want to go much over. We have like 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions about containers or what we did here, or about Docker, please fire away, and so we can answer in the last couple of minutes that we have. But as I was saying, containers is extremely important. So if those things help you out in understanding, in wanting to try it out, right? Again, all of those things, if you go to Elder's project, he's going to send you later an email with all the articles that we wrote, and you can do all those things. You can do all those steps by just following the articles, right? All the source code is there. All the steps are there, so you can just do this. Yes.
One thing that I would like to talk about is that developers shouldn't wait until they have to learn containers, because in a couple of years they will have to know containers. So I truly believe that they need to start right now, because there are still few people that really know containers, that know how to work with them. So it's a huge opportunity for career, for improvement, for getting better jobs, better projects for working. So I really believe that the people who doesn't know containers should try it right now.
Cool, very cool. So Arum asked if there's any competitor to Docker. And so Arum, basically Docker is a bunch of things, right? So Docker is a container. It's a virtualization that has a virtualization technology. It has a packaging technology. It has tools to manage containers. There's all kinds of things around Docker, right? So there are competitors of Docker, yes, in some of those areas, right? So for example, if you want an orchestration tool, you can use Swarm, Docker Swarm, for example. That's Docker, but you can use you can use Elastic, you can use Kubernetes, you can use OpenShift. There's all kinds of competitors from that part of Docker. But the one thing that Docker did that everyone agrees on is the packaging format. So Docker is saying, let's package our container this size, this width, this heavy, So Docker, it's a packaging format. As a packaging format, everyone agrees to use Docker. So Elastic uses Dockers, Amazon uses Dockers, Google uses Dockers, Red Hat uses Docker, Microsoft uses Docker as a packaging format. So this is really powerful, because now we know what is the packaging format, right? And so if we have the good packaging format, we can reuse our same Docker containers everywhere. So we can use our Docker containers on all those providers. So this is extremely important. So, I think that's the part of Docker that everyone agrees on. and there's no discussion. Everyone's just using the Docker format, and that's great. That helps us. Instead of you having like lots of formats that we have to think about, we can just use Docker. All right. Any good books on Dockers? There's a lot of good material on Docker out there. And the Docker website, it's very cool because they have some you can learn Docker. My suggestion to you when you start learning Docker is, instead of you trying to get a book immediately, go to the Docker website, and because they have a interactive learning tool, so you can learn Docker just by going to a website and experiment with some things. So that's an interesting way to start. The other way to start is, we talking about all those providers, right? So let me just kind of load this back again here. Remember that you can get on the side here, Ruslan's offer for Elastic was to give you a Docker environment that you can play with, right? So just go here on the side, and that's an interesting, just click here right now on this button, and you can get a free Docker environment to play with, right? So and I'm just going to leave this for a few minutes because you mentioned about a Docker book. So the other thing that Ruslan gave us this morning was a free course, right? So, if you come to this page here, right, Ruslan gave us a free course for Docker, right? So it's going to be several emails. It's going to be like, you start, and you're going to receive one email a day, and it's going to walk you through learning Docker. So instead of buying a book, first take this course right here. That's free. It's going to come through your email. And then once you come to email, you can just, once you finish this free course, then you can look for a book that's going to be good, right? So how about that? I think that's the best way to start. Go take this free course and see how that works, right? Okay. And Elder said, if you really want a book, he suggests a book right there. All right. Oh, a book from Aaron Gupta. That's very cool. All right. So Mary asks, are there any specific advantage of running Docker inside Jenkins, or the way around, having Jenkins run inside Docker? Okay. So there's two different things. Docker is a platform for running things. Okay. Jenkins is a tool to automate tasks, right? So basically, you can run Jenkins in a Docker container and have Jenkins create other Docker containers, right? So it's not really Docker running inside Jenkins. No. It's Jenkins creating Docker containers, okay? So basically, Jenkins runs inside Docker, and Jenkins is able to create other containers that also run inside Docker, okay? So it's not Docker running inside Jenkins, but it's Jenkins running Docker, Jenkins creating and starting Docker containers, okay? Those are two different tools. Yes. So basically what we had was, the Docker environment here, and we were running Jenkins right here, and then Jenkins went ahead and created other containers. Oops, I'm terrible with this, right? So Jenkins is the green guy. So Jenkins created other Docker containers, and they all run on top of the same Docker platform. You see, so Jenkins is just one more container running on Docker. Make sense? Okay, thanks, Mary. Okay, all right. So Rafael had to leave. That's good. Yeah. So sorry about that. We are little. We are 5 minutes over. So let me tell you this. We're gonna finish now, but we're gonna send you more. Go ahead. What? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. No, no, you're fine. I can hear you. Oh, you. Oh, people not. Oh, people didn't hear you. Looks like. So mute and unmute you. So yeah. So can see or hear you. Huh. All right. Okay. So I don't know what's going on with Elder today, but so basically what he said was that tomorrow he's gonna do no audio at all. Okay, so there's no audio at all. So I need to load my page. All right. Let's see if we have some audio now. Hopefully you do. No video too well. Let's see. Now I reloaded my side here. Let's see if you can hear me now. Yes, we need to have a Docker image of Elder. That's good. But Elder was saying that he created a. Hopefully you can hear me now. But we're just finishing here. We created here. We can hear. Good. Thanks, Kathy. So basically, Elder was saying that tomorrow he'll interview one of the top. He's a Java EE spec lead for Dave Delabasi, and he's an amazing guy. He's from Oracle, and he's going to interview now. So if you want to watch Dave Delabasi interview, come here to Elder's project, and you're going to be able to get the information for tomorrow's interview with Dave Delabasi. Okay. All right. So yeah. So we are way past our time here. I don't want to hold you guys too much. Thanks a lot for all the questions. Thanks, Elder. You want to say goodbye?
Yeah, thank you very much, Bruno. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, Elder. So thanks everyone for being here. We are almost at the end of the JavaTour online. So tomorrow we're gonna have two great speakers. We're gonna have Leonardo Lima talking about Internet of Things, and we're gonna have Eder Ignatovich from Red Hat talking about very sophisticated web development. So hope to see you guys tomorrow. And Mary, let me ask you one thing. We are doing some things with the Java User Group leaders that were part of the tour. So can you send me an email or send me a tweet with your contacts, because I need to talk to you. Okay. So thanks everyone for being here. Thanks, Elder. Thanks a lot. And make sure that you join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time, right? It's the same time that it was today. It's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow, there will be no noon presentation. It's only going to be at night, right? 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay? Thanks very much. See you guys. Thank you. Thanks very much, Manik. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Rodrigo, Jair, Elgan, Arun, Kathy, Wender, Mary. Thanks everyone. You guys have been great. Thanks a lot.